In this strange and cruel world, a person's social status wasn't determined by their degree or talent. It was determined by the size of their shadow. Henry had graduated from one of the world's top universities and possessed exceptional skills. He easily passed the first round of a job interview, but the moment the bright lights in the main interview room turned on, everything changed. Everyone's shadows appeared across the floor. The other candidates had enormous, perfectly straight shadows that seemed almost heavenly, but Henry's shadow was crooked, uneven, and less than half the required length. The interviewer actually lifted Henry's ugly shadow with his fingers, laughed at him, and rejected him on the spot. Devastated, Henry went to a marketplace where many unfortunate people like him were trying to repair and reshape their shadows. He attempted his first repair, rejected. The second time, he followed a company's exact requirements. He reinforced the frame of his shadow with metal nails, tied it together with ropes, and patched its edges with a stapler. His shadow was now covered in damage and repairs, but even then, it couldn't compete with everyone else's perfect shadows. Henry became trapped in an endless cycle of job applications. Every company had different requirements for the perfect shadow. He kept cutting, reshaping, and changing his own shadow until almost nothing of its original form remained. Yet he still received no job offer. Whenever he walked down the street, Henry tried to hide behind the enormous, perfectly straight shadows of powerful people. The anger, humiliation, and pain inside him kept building. Finally, he couldn't take it anymore. Fed up with this fake and cruel world, he began kicking his own shadow in frustration right there on the street. People nearby laughed at him. The enormous shadows he had once admired now seemed like monsters closing in around him. Henry covered his ears and curled up in the darkness. When he finally lifted his head, he found himself inside an empty subway station. Across the floor was an enormous, perfectly straight, flawless shadow. The station was completely deserted, and then a dangerous thought entered Henry's mind. He grabbed the stranger from behind and desperately pulled his own damaged shadow away. Then he wrapped it around the stranger's enormous shadow and forcibly took it for himself. When everything finally became quiet, Henry was holding a magnificent, flawless shadow, and lying on the ground was a helpless stranger who no longer had a shadow of his own.